Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video, and the World Tournament is over here on JP, so we should, within the next, 1, 2, 3 days, something like that, get info on the transforming DOKKANFEST KEFLA that's going to be coming to JP next. Seems to be a counterpart to UI Goku over on Global, right? Like, Global gets SCR, LR, UI Goku, JP's going to get the KEFLA. We'll see how good KEFLA is going to be. Like, maybe she'll introduce a new category. I did sort of design a new category that I think she could potentially bring. We will see. And, looking at the KEFLA we have in-game right now can kind of give us some clues as to what the new KEFLA might look like in terms of her categories and stuff like that. Now, at bare minimum, this new KEFLA is going to have 8 category teams. So that is going to make her a valuable unit. I really like the way the Int Gotenks has turned out. So, if they can design KEFLA in a similar manner to Int Gotenks, I think she'll be very, very good. Alright, so typically when Dokkan Fests like this come out, they usually do bring with them one new category. Now, it's very difficult to tell what they're going to do with these categories. Lately, they've been releasing these units with, like, really bad, really small categories that are just like fodder, but they have like 170% across the board. I would like them to move away from that because no one likes, like, those are not teams that are fun. Teams that are fun have big, like, crazy rosters with a lot of options. Big time powerful units on it. Not these really limited, stupid teams with high leader skills. People don't give a shit about that from what I've seen. So, alright, so let's take a look. So this is sort of a category that I built that I think potentially KEFLA could lead. It's got 77 units on it right now, which seems realistic. It definitely would be 150% category, or 170% to 2 stats and then 130% to 1 stat, right? So this sort of team I designed, this is like an antagonist category, but it's like the strongest form of the, like, not a villain, but just like opponent, right? So with that, like, Hit, Beerus, Jiren, KEFLA, God Topo, I also have on here. Like, all of them would qualify for this category, right? As sort of, like, not necessarily villains, but antagonists. Did I put Majin Vegeta on here? I did not. I think Majin Vegeta would work as well. So let me just add the Majin Vegeta. So there's that one. There is the Extreme Tech Majin Vegeta as well. We can go ahead and add him. There is the Extreme STR Majin Vegeta. We can add him, of course. That's very good. And then there's also the Physical Majin Vegeta. That's all of them? I believe so. Okay. So by adding them, I feel like that makes the category a bit better, right? Because there are a lot of Saiyans on here. Well, Saiyan-type characters, right? So, again, this is going to be like antagonists or opponents or whatever you want to say, sort of in their strongest form. So, like, that must be why I didn't add Majin Vegeta to it before. But, like, Majin Vegeta is a character that really could use, I think, well, I mean, the LR Majin Vegeta is on 7 teams, which is certainly not small, but, I think some of these characters could get more. What category is he shafted off of? Target Goku is the one that comes to mind. He's not on Target Goku, which is really stupid, Obviously, Dragon Ball Z Broly. I would expect, by the way, a new Dragon Ball Z Broly to appear at some point. I know people, what? We've got 1 million Brolys. We have 1 million LR Brolys. Listen, there's very few characters that will rake in the money like Broly. There are very few characters that are as popular as Broly. We will get several more versions of this guy, and probably LR versions as well. So keep that in mind. Because when designing these categories, it's not really how good it is, like, only how good it is right now, but how good it will potentially be in the future, right? Full Power Frieza. Now, I do think Full Power Frieza is a character that could get a new card as well, potentially. I think there's a slot for, like, a 3rd form Frieza Dokkan Fest unit, or even a final form Frieza Dokkan Fest unit that transforms. Final form Frieza is a little bit tricky because are they going to give us a final form Frieza that goes into Full Power Frieza, or are they going to give us a final form Frieza that goes into Golden Frieza? Now, personally, I think both would qualify for this category. I have both Golden Frieza and Full Power Frieza because obviously they're from different points in the series. So for this team specifically, either of those final form Friezas would work. that's why I think like a third form Frieza from the Namek Saga would be ideal, and then maybe transforms into final form on like turn 3, and then maybe the turn after that he can active skill into full power. I think that would be a good unit. And then they could give us like an LR Frieza that transforms into Golden Frieza from Resurrection F. I think that would work really well. I have Baby on here. Great Ape Golden Baby. This is good. Baby, like, as time has gone on, he just keeps getting categories and categories. I really like the way this unit is aging. I mean, he's not the greatest damage-wise. He's not the greatest defensive-wise. But he just seems to be a very solid overall unit that I think is aging pretty well. So that would be good. Obviously, LR Broly, any version of this character that would have, like, their strongest form or their final form or whatever you want to call it, that's sort of what I put on the category, right? Cell, of course, when he like dies and resurrects or whatever, blows himself up and revives and heals, and he comes back in this form. I think this version of Cell would be on here. Full power Bojack, I think, would qualify. There's Broly. I think pretty much you could put every Beerus on here. This is good. Beerus is another character that has gotten a ton of category teams lately, and I think this would work really, really well, giving Beerus just a whole sort of monsoon of teams and stuff like that. I don't think it is a bad idea at all, right? Janemba is a character that really badly needs categories. So, like, this category having Janemba on it is huge, because I'm sure we will get an LR Janemba at some point who could be damn near the best. Cell, of course. So, as far as, like, Goku Black, Zamasu, Merge Zamasu, I only included Merge Zamasu on here. I did not include Rose. Maybe we could put Rose on here as well. I mean, that would be pretty big, because that AGL Rose EZA, who's about to hit Global, seems as though he could be a pretty impressive unit, especially if they get him with support. Could be very good for, like, a villain team. Majin Vegeta. I put Goku Ginyu on here. I think Goku Ginyu is a sleeper option for a Dokkan Fest exclusive, with the, the dearth of villains compared to hero characters. I do think he could eventually get one. Frieza, we've talked about. Obviously, Final Form Cooler, I think, deserves to be on here. Transforming Frieza goes all the way to Golden, then another Golden. Omega Shenron is another character that needs categories. So, Omega, like, this would be good for Omega, Super 17, Janemba. Like, this is a category that would be very good for these units. These characters, like, and again, Janemba, Super 17, Omega, they're going to get, like, LR or, like, super high-tier Dokkan Fest exclusives in the future. So, like, we need to prepare them to be better when they are introduced into the game, right? That's one thing I would like Dokkan to get better to do with some of these characters, especially because I'm telling y'all, an Omega and Gogeta dual Dokkan Fest can't be far away. Like, they've been away from GT for so long. So, Beerus, Cell, we've talked about. Again, this Zamasu goes all the way to Merge Zamasu, who I think I would include here. Hit, Hit is another character that needs categories. So, again, now, all of these characters, like, these are characters people like, right? Like, Hit, well, not Super, people don't really like Super 17, but, Omega's cool. Back in the day, when I was growing up, Omega was the strongest Dragon Ball villain, but, then obviously many things have happened since, right? Beerus, Janemba, we've talked about. I think Dragon Ball Super Broly, his full power version, would be included here. This guy, by the way, will get his standalone unit, probably an LR. That's going to be very hype as well. Definitely looking forward to him. Android 13, I think Kid Buu, of all the Majin Buus, Kid Buu is the one I put on here. Golden Frieza. I put Turles on here, maybe because of the Fruit of Tree of Might, or maybe not. But I think Turles being on here is good. Turles does have quite a few teams, so, well, he's only on 5. He could use another. And, Turles is still so good. Again, Super 17 badly needs the categories, man. Like, he's got 4, Janemba needs it the most, but, like, Super 17 definitely could use more. This guy's getting an EZA soon, and then I'm sure he'll be a Dokkan Fest exclusive, another one as well. Metal Cooler, I think the giant version of Metal Cooler would count for this. Kefla, of course, this is going to be the new unit added to the team. And her secondary leader skill, I mean, if we go ahead and switch over here, there are some options for her secondary leader skill. I mean, Peppy Gals, Universal Survival Saga, Patara, Full Power, Universe 6, Super Saiyan 2, Last Resort, and she will also have Transformation Boost, right? So those are all potential leads she could be. I've seen people say Last Resort. I don't think so. I know they did, the Goku family category was kind of like the premium category from the 4-year anniversary. Like, the Vegeta family team is good, but the Goku family one was the big, right, that's the big one. And they turned around and they released it for Goku Day on Global. A top tier leader skill for Goku family, and on global it was even before LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku came out. So they could do a last resort leader as Kefla, part of Kefla's leader skill. They could, but I just don't think they will. I really don't think so. I mean, I don't think is going to come out on global until after the 5-year anniversary anyway. But considering these guys should be returning on the Tanabata, which, I mean, if we take a look at this, the Tanabata, like, Dokkan Fest, like, not the actual Tanabata banner itself, but, like, the new Dokkan Fest unit, the last 2 years, Ultra Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku and LR Gohan and Goten on JP have both released on July 1st, and then the Tanabata banner comes out between, like, the 7th and the 10th. I think Blue Gogeta and Vegito will be on the Tanabata banner sometime in that range. So, like, I don't know. I mean, if they release Kefla as a last resort leader, that takes away, like, even zero, like, no revenue would be lost from these two returning. Just Kefla having a leader skill. Especially because Goresh has been informing us that the JP player base is very, very unimpressed with Kefla and not excited about her at all, right? But I don't think a last resort leader skill is what we're going to see. I think her as a Peppy Gals or Universe 6 lead makes more sense. I really want her to have either Universe 6 or Peppy Gals. One of the two she really needs, for real. Both of those teams badly need a leader. And here's the thing, these teams don't have a lot of other options besides Kefla, right? Like, Peppy Gals, who is going to be like an LR or a Dokkan Fest exclusive Peppy Gals leader besides Kefla? Like, Future Android 18 is not enough to be a standalone. Maybe 21 could be. But, like, that's it, right? Like, Mai's not going to be a Dokkan Fest. I don't think they would make Bulma a Dokkan Fest. You know, Bra, Fasha, Khalifa, I don't think is Dokkan Fest worthy. Like, it's pretty much got to be Kefla. And then I almost feel the same way about Universe 6, too. It's like, you know, we've already got Hit as a leader. Who's going to be the Universe 6 leader? Kabe? Dr. Rhoda? Frost? Like, I feel like it has to be Kefla again. But now the good news is that, you know, as far as Kefla goes, this unit is solid, but, like, can be replaced. So we could still get, you know, we're going to get the base form Kefla as a Dokkan Fest, and we can still get a Super Saiyan and a Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. So, like if this new Kefla is not a leader for Peppy Gals, we could still get another Kefla in the future that could be, you know, something like that. I do think Kefla is worthy of having a number of different exclusives and LRs, but, you know, we'll see if Dokkan thinks so. Obviously 13 is on here. I think God Topo, I think is a Dokkan Fest exclusive worthy character as well. I think you could easily do a dual Dokkan Fest with him and Evolution Blue Vegeta that has Final Explosion. I think that would sell very well. Lord Slug, is a character that I think should get a Dokkan Fest as well. Or an LR. He'd be a great buff for the giant category team, which really needs it. So I am rooting for Lord Slug to get one for sure. Young Demon King Piccolo, him again, he needs like an LR or something like that. Another one, or a Dokkan Fest. No, a Dokkan Fest exclusive is what we need for King Piccolo. And then the rest of these characters we already looked at. Metal Rildo, I think, of course. This guy will get his awakening at some point. This guy, by the way, do not bother this guy, because he is going to be godly when he gets his awakening. I'm telling y'all right now. So he is going to be amazing. LR Demon King Piccolo we've got here. Great Ape Vegeta is another one, right? You know, he's going to get a Dokkan Fest exclusive for sure. Majunior, giant Namekian Majunior from the World Tournament, I think would qualify. I don't know if any other versions of Piccolo would. This is sort of like, you know, the Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, like his last hurrah as a villain is this fight right here. So, and then that would basically cover the category. And I would include both this Fused Zamasu as well as the Purple Bukaki version. I think both of them would qualify for this category. So let me know what you guys think of this category, like an antagonist or something like that. I think this would be very good to add into the game because characters like Omega, Janemba, Super 17, and Hit badly need this. I think this would be strong. Let me see. Ki? I don't think Ki would really be an issue because, you know, we do have Turles, we do have Kid Buu. You know, Rose, potentially, well, if they would add Rose. For what I built, I don't have Rose on here. He potentially could be very solid. God Topo, of course, is a support type unit. I guess there isn't a ton of support on here. But, I mean, you do have Turles and Kid Buu, and that kind of, I mean, that's kind of good enough, I guess, right? You know, Turles, and then, you know, Turles along with this guy, right? pretty good. So let me know what you guys think of this team. If you're excited for Kefla, I still am excited for Kefla. Obviously, I mean, LR, STR, UI Goku is 100 times superior in every way. Hype, like, ability, everything. Like, Kefla beats him in nothing. But I think I'm still hyped for Kefla. Like, I do like Kefla. I think Kefla deserves a card. I think she deserves an exclusive, as well as God Topo, who also doesn't have one. So, you know, we'll sort of see how this is going to work out. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.